So my project is called Meal Fun, and it's an app and a new business model. For me, the problem I want to solve is this one here. It's been a long day at work. You don't know what to cook. Imagine not having to think about what you're going to cook tonight. Imagine having someone that knows exactly what your body needs. Meal Fun does it for you. Just open the app and check your recipe for today. You'll only need ingredients you have in your pantry. My vision is to improve the health of our users through a healthy diet. My vision is to provide tailored meal plans, nutrition knowledge, and off-screen cooking events. And my core values are we listen because one of the most important things in this app is to offer like a very personalized experience. So we need to listen carefully to our users. And then we help you live your life well because we want to remind our users that prioritizing your health is key to a long, well-lived life. So we kind of want to teach them these healthy habits that they can, keep on doing forever. And we make health fun. And this is the reason we have this retro video game aesthetic is because we want to make health as easy as a video game. So we're going to go with this aesthetic for the app. In my benchmarking, I discovered that actually Meal Fun is pretty different than my competitors because I realized that most of them were focused on weight loss, gaining weight, or fitness or muscle, but not on health in general, meaning, vitamins, minerals, etc. And also they offered a personalized experience, but I think not as personalized as Meal Fun because we would be taking into account health conditions. So Meal Fun is focused on health, very personalized, and with this retro video game aesthetic, that I think it could be also like a differentiating factor. And for my user research, I use a Typeform survey. And for me, the most important finding here was that 20% of the people that answered the survey had a health condition that can be controlled or improved through a specific diet, which is very interesting because I was not expecting such a high percentage. So I definitely decided to include the option in the quiz. And for the user personas, I have Anna and Phil. Anna is the aspiring healthy foodie. So she is a full-time worker, a millennial, and she wants to eat healthy, but she finds it boring and time-consuming. So I think what we can do for her is offer a very user-friendly experience and also offer a lot of ideas and inspiration and kind of teach her how to make cooking for herself something fun and something that she can enjoy. And then Phil is the worried father, and he wants to learn about nutrition, but he gets overwhelmed. So he wants to learn for himself and for his kid because he has, Phil has a heart condition. So he wants to start eating now a diet that can help his heart condition. So I think what we can do is offer this personalized experience, taking into account this heart condition, include more extra info about nutrition so he can keep on learning, and maybe also inviting him to the off-screen events so he can, learn and maybe even bring his kid with him. And my value proposition statement is to increase the sales of our subscriptions, providing healthy meal plans for people willing to eat better to facilitate their decision-making process. And this is my visual identity. Here you can see the colors, the fonts, and the logo. I think the logo is super important in this project because it's already showing like the retro aesthetic that the whole app is going to have. And it's also a heart, which is something that can be related to health. And it reminds us of the love hearts that they sell in the UK, which it's candy, but it's also food in a way. And for the images, we're going to use this type of images with very bright colors, very fresh food, and but also these pixel icons and kind of retro video game imagery. And then for my verbal identity, the voice is going to be informal and funny, helpful and clear. Informal and funny basically because we don't want to sound like patronizing. We want, be very easy to understand. And we can be funny as well because we want to sound a little bit like your friend. And helpful and clear because basically nutrition is a complicated topic. So we want to use like very pragmatic and direct writing so that we don't confuse our users. And then for the tone, which you can also see the user journey here, we're going to have these different stages: discovering, joining, cooking, purchasing, and sharing. And we can be very informal in the discovering and sharing part, but we have to be less informal in all the other stages. And for grammar and mechanics, there's something relevant. I think it's we can use Oxford comma and M dash, exclamation marks, and the ampersand, or like the end symbol, is also going to be very important for our branding. And of course, we also want to be clear, human, inclusive, and accessible. And for the words we want to avoid, we don't want to use anything that sounds like body shaming or restrictive, because we want to sound basically just like a help, not as an obligation, because that is definitely not fun. And of course, linked with our aesthetic, we can use retro video game references. In here, you can see an example of one of these sentences that became famous from this game called The Legend of Zelda in 1986. And for SEO guidelines, we're going to try to rank for a healthy eating meal plan and healthy and fun recipes. But of course, there are way more other options for long tail. This is an example of, the sitemap and the labeling. So you can see all the sections that the app would have and the naming of the sections. And for my KPIs, I want to increase the number of app downloads, the organic presence on the website, the visits to the blog, and the purchase of subscriptions. And now we're going to see the prototypes. Here I have the homepage with above the fold content, and the most important sentence is, making health as easy as a video game, because we are already presenting like the whole concept of the app. And I also have some below the fold content, in which here we would be explaining who is it for, and also using some of the video game references, and also mentioning the off-screen events, also mentioning the blog, how does it work, also a customer review, and we direct them to the app. And this is the app. In here you can see the login with some funny placeholders, and also the first screen, which would be like the onboarding screen. And this is an example for me of intelligent content, because the quiz would be very personalized, and it's an example of intelligent content. And in here we can see some UX writing examples, like this empty state that says, "Aren't you hungry? Purchase our subscription to get started." And for content marketing, we're basically going to use newsletters, blog posts, and reminders in the app. And here you can see some examples of subjects and headlines. And in the app itself, there's going to be a section in which they can read about the vitamins that they are ingesting, which is going to also redirect to articles in the blog. And here you can see an article in the blog about vitamin D. And here you can see an example of a content calendar in which we're going to have articles, to rank in SEO, which is very easy with this topic, but also some articles to help our users learn about nutrition, just for their own benefit. And that's it. I think the most important lesson I learned is how to turn my ideas inside my head into a reality, which I think is very important. And yeah, thank you for listening.